Hi everyone. Till now we have discussed about our indefinite integration. Now today we are going to start with our new phase of integration. It's our definite integration. Look up in indefinite integration we have discussed that we use a plus c constant there because of there are so many functions which having a same differential for which we are find for integration we find the function there, but it's not happen in the case of definite integration because for any we have any integration there, it's run from upper limit to lower limit, there is a fixed value there. Actually when we are going to talking about the geometrical interpretation of having a integration of when we have taken limit of integration, lower limit a, upper limit b, then our integration over a to b fx dx, when we are going to see in its geometrical interpretation, then it's actually represent a area there, area for any given function there. Then our in this topic we are going to be see that how can we find out area for any by using our integration as a limit of sum there. We are going to be discuss of our fundamental of formula there. It's known as Euler formula, Euler limit formula as a limit as a sum there. We see that limit as a sum formula integration. Then after that we have discussed some problem there. Actually if I am going to be find out the value of integration of taking a value lower limit 1 and 2 and find out its limit x dx there, then it's easy to find out. We take its integration is x square by 2, then we are going to put the upper value in x and then a lower value in x, and then after that we take a difference of upper value to the lower values, then we get the value of integration over 1 to 2 x dx. But when you have a given find the integration of integration over 1 to 2 x square dx by using limit of sum, then we cannot find out by direct method of integration there. Then we have to be use our limit sum formula. What is it? It's integration of a to b fx dx is equal to limit h tends to 0 h into in bracket f of a plus f of a plus h plus f of a plus 2h dot f of a plus n minus 1h. Then in today's topic we are going to discuss our Euler formula, limit as sum formula there. Then we are going to discuss it. So then we have take one or two problems to using that how can we find out the any integral value using limit as a sum there. Look up, we have already discussed about definite integrals that look up. Just suppose in definite integrals we have already clear that look up, it's geometrically it's represent a area of curve there. Just suppose look actually we are just going to be derived as our limit as sum there. Just suppose we have any curve y equal to fx there. Now look what we do. Just suppose our coordinate axis it's o y and o x there, and we have taken one of the curve. This is our curve, it's y equal to fx curve, and just look up, we have taken two ordinate there. Our x equal to a, and we take x equal to a and x equal to b there. Now look up, so suppose we have to find the area between this curve y equal to fx and the ordinate x equal to a and our x equal to b there, and between the x axis. Then how look, it's not any closed polygon there to find out. How can we find out its area? Just to find out this area we are going to be use some strips there. So suppose I have taken up a rectangular strip with having a width. So suppose its width is a small h, having a width, having its width or breadth as a h there. Then what is about this at x equal to a? x equal to a, this is parallel to a, then this length, its length is given by f of a. In similar, we have taken second, we have taken the same length of width there. Of same width there. Now when we are going to adding this area of all these strips, then its sum is what? It's equal to the whole area of this curve there. Then look, how can we represent the area of this all strip there? This the area of first strip is what? H into f of a, then it's f a plus s plus h into f of a plus h plus h into f of a plus 2h. So suppose this region b to a, we have what we have taken there, this b to a, we are just going to divide our point in how many points there? In n minus 1. We have taken n minus 1 equal spaces there, because if there is a n point there, then it's a spaces which we have one less spaces there. Then look, we have n minus 1 spaces there, n minus 1 equally, these are equally spaces points. Then what is our last then our last is strip is f of h into f of a plus n minus 1 into h. Now look out, when we are going to take here our h tends to 0, what is our h? We can measure our h by it's a limit between b minus, what is, how can we learn? This is a length is what? It's a b minus a divided by n. Actually this is the width, our width h is given by b minus a by n. Whenever this h tends to 0, then this, the whole part is represented by a integration over a to b fh dx, means is equal to the area area enclosed by x equal to a, x equal to b, and x axis by curve y equal to fx. What about this a? This is our known as lower limit. This is b is our upper limit. Then what we saw here in our definite integrals, this is our, actually we have discussed our the limit as a sum there. Then to find out the when we have any we have only discussed our definition of the definite integrals as a limit of sum there. If we have fx be a, if we have fx be a single valued continuous function defined in the interval ab, where our a is less than b and the interval ab is divided into n equal parts, each of length h, so that our h is given by b minus by n, then we define the limit. Our limit as sum is now defined as integration over a to b fx dx is equal to our limit s tends to 0. We take out this h common from each. Then we have f of a plus f of a plus h plus f of a plus n minus 1 h. And what is this? This is called our definite integral of fx. This is our limit sum formula. This is called definite integral of fx between the limit x equal to a and x equal to b. And you have to be learn this limit as a sum formula there. Now look up. We are going to when you have ask any problem in definite integral, then you, it's mentioned here, you have to find out its value limit as a sum. Then you have to follow use as a limit as a sum there. Look up. When we are going to use our limit as a sum, then it's some lengthy process to ordinarily getting limit there. Then that's why whenever ask problem about this section there, then obvious it's contain of minimum 4 marks or 6 marks problem there. Then now we are going to take one of the example there. How can we apply our limit sum formula for any values there? Look, before we are going to use using our limit as sum, I request to all of you to remember some things. Please remember this. It's helpful to solve the integral as the limit of sum there. What do you have to remember? I'm just going to be mentioned here. Please remember that some basic concept our the sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus sum of n natural numbers. We are just going to take here n minus 1 because our spaces is defined between n minus 1 there. And then sum of 1 plus 2 plus 3 to n minus 1 is what given by, we know that it's a n plus 1 by 2, but our point is n minus 1. Then our sum is what? It's n minus 1 by 2. Second, when we have a like sum of 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square, again it's a taking as n minus 1 square there. Then its sum is given by n minus 1 and 2n plus 1 minus 2, then 2n minus 1 upon 6. Also you have to be learned when we have when we are going to solve in this series, maybe we get sum like in the cube form, 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube, take n last point n minus 1, then it's given by square of this and n minus 1. And also you have to be learned two basic concept, sum of series of sine. If we have sine A plus s plus sine A plus n minus 1 into h, and its sum is given by sine A plus n minus 1 by 2 h into sine n h by 2 divided by sine h by 2. And lastly we have to be used when we have cos A plus cos A plus s, cos A plus n minus 1 into h, then its sum is given by similar process there, but in sine it's both are sine there, sine and sine, but here first of them is here cos, only cos there. It's a cos A plus n minus 1 by 2 into h. Just only this is cos term, baki and others are just sine formula, sine nh by 2 divided by sine h by 2. Now you have to be learn this our 1 2 3 4 5 basics concept there, because it's our use in limit as sum there. Now we are start with one of the basic problem there. Just suppose we have to be evaluate, take first of all one of the easy example there, a to b x dx. We have to be evaluate it by using a evaluate at the limit of a sum. We have to find its value as a limit of a sum there. Then now it's given as a limit of sum there, then we have to be apply our limit formula there, because we cannot be going to be find out its direct integrate it. And how can we find its limit as a sum there? Then again we start with, we have a to b fx dx. Now sorry, we have a question in here, a to b x dx. Then we are going to compare with our formula a to b fx dx, and we are going to find out value f of a plus and f of a plus n minus 1 s there. And then what we have now, look, our take it's our dx. Now look what we have, our fx equal to x here, our h, I'm already told you our h is given by difference between upper limit to the lower limit divided by n. Then from here what we get n into h is equal to b minus a. Now if we have fx equal to x, then our f of a is what? A. F of a plus h is what? A plus h. And f of a plus 2h is what? It's a plus 2h. Then our last point, f of a plus n minus 1h is what? A plus n minus 1h. Now we get our basic values there. Now we are going to able to apply our integrals. Look, first of all mention our Euler formula of limit as sum there. Now what we have, integration over a to b fx dx is given by limit s tends to 0 f a plus h plus dot dot f a plus n minus 1 h. Now we are going to be put here values there. Since limit are same there, a to b, then we have to a to b, but our fx is x, then dx. Now limit s tends to 0, h is write down h as h there. Now f of a is what? It's a. F of a plus h is what? It's a plus h. F of a plus 2h is what? A plus 2h. And the value of f of a plus n minus 1 is what? It's a plus n minus 1 into h. Now we put our values there. Now look, a is comes at how many times there? N times there. Then when we are going to adding our a n times, then we get it's n a. Then now limit s tends to 0 h. This our a is comes to the how many times? N times there. Then it's our n a there. Look, don't be confused there, because it's first a there, and then it's from here a plus s, a plus 2s, a plus n minus 1. This is our n minus 1. These are n minus 1, and this is our one term. Then that's why n terms of a there, n a there. Now from here we take h common there, and then when we take h common there, then here we get what we get 1 plus 2 plus 3 dot dot dot, and the last term is our n minus 1. N minus 1. Now we have already discussed the sum of n minus 1 recently there. Its sum is given by n minus 1 by 2. Then we put here the sum n minus 1 by 2, and then now limit s tends to 0 h. This is our n a, and we have discussed about its sum. It's n minus 1 by 2. Now look, we are going to be multiply with our the whole part with by h there. We are going to be include our h inside there. And now what we have, limit s tends to 0. We can write down it's n h into a plus what we take? We take it's h into this nh. We take this h with this nh, and one of the h is, we are going to multiply this h. We take one nh there, and this h is by nh minus h. Then we have nh, and by this h we have nh minus h divided by 2. Now look, what we have taken there, the value of our ns is what? Is equal to b minus a. Then we are going to put here b minus a. Limit s tends to 0. It's b minus a into a plus b minus a. And look, our ns is what? Ns minus h. Then what we have, the value of we have actually put it here, our values there, b minus a into a. Then we have put it our b minus a, here we put, then we have b minus a, ns b minus a minus h divided by 2. Now we are going to solve it. Then what we have after solution there, when we going to put our h0 there, then what we have, now we are putting h tends to 0. Then what we have b minus a into a. Here put h is 0 there. Then we have b minus a into b minus a by 2. Now look, what we do, we have b minus a into a plus b minus a into b minus a by 2. Now we have to be solve it. Just going to take b minus a common there. B minus a common there. Then we have here a, and here we have b minus a by 2. Now we are going to solve it. Then we have b minus a, then it's a 2a plus b minus a by 2. Then we get here b minus a, and this is get b plus a by 2. Then the value is given by b square minus a square by 2. Means integration over a to b fx dx is given by b square minus a square by 2. Now this is our value by as the limit of sum. Now look, I'm going to discuss you the, since we have to find the value of a to b x dx. We are here find this value by using limit as a sum. But just suppose we have to find this value by the method, in the ordinary method there. I'm going to explaining you actually what is our definite integral there. A to b x dx. And we don't want to use our applying limit as a sum there. Then how can we solve this type of problem as a definite integrals? Then we can solve it just for going to take its integral value. Just go to take integral of x, then we get x square by 2. Indefinite, we don't need constancy there. Then its integration is given by x square by 2, and putting its, now how can we get the values there? To find this value in a direct method, then we have to be put upper limit in the then minus lower limit. Now we put at the place of x b, then b square by 2. Then we have take subtraction by lower limit, it's a square by 2. Then we get b square minus a square by 2. What we get in our limit as sum there. And look, this is our direct method. When we are not able to apply limit as a sum, then how can we find? Means in a definite integrals, if we have some limit a to b fx dx, just suppose its integrand values some fx there, then we get our definite integrals by f of b minus f of a. This represent our definite integral there. Now, but we have discussed our topic limit as a sum. We have explained one of the problem there. Now look, just suppose we are going to start with, take another example there to clarify you limit as a sum easily there. Now just suppose we are going to find the value of any, we have find integration of x dx. Just suppose we are going to take any values there to find out limit as sum. Just I will try to take a exponent there. Just suppose we want to find out, so we have to be evaluate integration of minus 1 to 1 e to power x dx. Just suppose and by how again as limit of sum, we have to find its value as a limit of sum. Now again what do we do? We have here fx equal to e to power x. This is our a, this is our b. A is our minus 1 and b is our 1. Then how we get h? H is our b minus a by n, means 1 minus 1 plus 1, then is equal to 2 by n. Means the value of our h is what? 2 by n, or nh equal to 2, or nh equal to 2. Now we get nh equal to 2 here. Our fx equal to e to power x. Also we get the values of f of a, since f of a is what? E to power a. F of a plus h, e to power a plus h, and f of a plus n minus 1 h is what? E to power a plus n minus 1 h there. Now using our limit as sum formula, integration over a to b fx dx is what? Limit s tends to 0 h f of a plus f of a plus h plus dot f of a plus n minus 1 h. Now we are going to putting its value, limit s tends to 0 h. What is our f of a? E to power a plus e to power a plus h plus e to power a plus 2h plus dot dot e to power a plus n minus 1 h there. Now we have put the value there. Now look what we we change our limit as sum there. Now look what we do. We get e to power a is e to power a plus s, e to power a plus 2s, and e to power a plus n minus 1 h there. But look up what is our a? F of a we don't get our a is actually real, it's a minus 1 there. Then we put our a is minus 1 there. Then now limit s tends to 0 h is it's e to power minus 1 plus e to power minus 1 plus h, e to power minus 1 plus 2h, and e to power minus 1 plus n minus 1 h there. Now limit s tends to 0 h. Now we can write down by we get e to power minus 1 plus e to power minus 1 plus s. Then we going to be write down it's by it's in a simple manner. How can we represent it? It's a 1 by e plus 1 by e to power h and so on there. If we take e to power minus 1 common there, so suppose I'm going to take e to power minus 1 common there, then what do we have? We have 1 plus e to power h plus e to power 2h plus e to power n minus 1 h there. Now our limit s tends to 0, we have h upon e, and here we have 1 plus e to power h plus e to power 2h plus e to power n minus 1 h. Now look, this is our geometric this is our geometric progression. We can apply here as a sum by using our geometric integration formula there. Now look, limit s tends to 0 h by e. We are going to find its sum. It's a into 1 minus r to power n. Our r is what? Common ratio what? Is e to power h, r to power n, 1 minus r. How we get our this sum? By our geometric progression, sum of geometric progression there. Since e to power h, obvious e to power h is less than 1 value there, because that's why it divided in our exponent, it lies between minus 1 to 1, that's it's a less than 1 there. And now what we get? Now we get limit s tends to 0 h by e. We are going to solving it. Then when we are going to solve it, it's e to power n, sorry, it's e to power h. Look, our nh is what? It's our 2. It's h into n. Then the value of its hn is what? We have find out the value of ns is 2 there. Then here we get write down it's a 1 minus 2 e to power 2 and 1 minus e to power h. Now look, we are going to change it. Look, when h is equal to b minus a by n, we at the place of h we can write down 2 by n. When our h tends to 0, then with this our h tends to 0, then our n tends to infinity here. Then we are going to change our limit there. We are going to put at the place of h, we are going to put our 2 by n. Then we are going to put our 2 by n there. Then we are going to able to solve it. Just suppose we are going to be change our limit in the part of, then it's at the place of h we put 2 by n. Then it's
2 by n, we take n there, and 2 by e taken outside. Limit n tends to infinity. Here we get 1 by n, 2 by n, we take n because our n tends to infinity there. 1 minus e square and 1 minus e to power h. Look, our limit is changed by this. 2 by e, limit n tends to infinity, 1 by n, 1 minus e square by 1 minus e to power h. Now look, again it's constant, we can take outside it. Now 2 1 minus e square by e. Now what we have? We have limit n tends to infinity. Here just 1 upon 1 minus e to power h. Look up, it's in the forms our n tends to infinity. Then we can change this limit as now we get 2 1 minus e square by e. Now we are going to change our, again we are take h there. When we our h, it's a, when you are going to take it, when our n tends to infinity, then our h tends to 0. Our h tends to 0 because n is our 2 by s. Then we get h there. Then what we get there? Here we get h by 2, 1 minus e to power h, because we change our n by h tends to 0. Now the value of this, when we are taking h in downwards, limit h tends to 0, then taking this 1 by 2 as a constant there, then it can be written as 1 upon 1 minus e to power h by h. Then this value is equal to, since we have limit h tends to 0, 1 minus x tends to 0, 1 minus e to power h tends to 0, 1 minus e to power h by h equal to 1. Then our this limiting value is 1 there. Then we get 1 by 2 there, and here we have 2 into 1 minus e square by e. This 2 and 2 cancel out. Then what will be the value? We have the value is here what? It's a sorry, a limit. When we have taken limit there, we have to be here. Look a little bit. We have to be change here, because we need e square minus 1 by using this concept. Our limit h tends to 0, e to power h minus 1. Putting 1 there. Now look, what we have after solving, we get the values there, because actually we have a real formula is what it's a e to power h minus 1 by h. Then we have a, first of all we have to change this sign there, because actually we have a limiting formula. It's my apology to you. Limit h tends to 0, it's a e to power h minus 1 by h equal to 1 there, and I'm applying on its minus here. Then first of all we have to be change this sign here from, we can take signs sign here e to power 2 minus to 1, and absorbing minus there. Then we have e to power h minus 1 there, then e to power h minus 1. Then we have it's 1 there. We cannot apply this, sorry, it's my apology to you. We have to take limit s 0, e to power h minus 1 by h equal to 1. Then now we have take common minus from there and applying minus here. Then there is no change in problem. Now what we have, now look, really what we have in last step, what we have 2 into e square minus 1 by e into 1 by 2. Then we get it's e square minus 1 by e, or we can write it's by just dividing by 1 by e minus 1 by e. This is our required result. Just you have to be look, putting the all values there. There is no change. Then I'm changing here n. You are not going to be changed. You can also without changing n there, applying an on s there, and you can just remember that we have to be use our limit s tends to 0, e to power s minus 1 by s given by 1. By mistake I'm putting here negative sign there, but you just have to correct this one. This is again, this is our limit as some formula. Further we have discussed with another example there.